Welcome back, my people. Welcome back, my community. We back again with another one. Welcome back to the Thought Experience. I'm Brother Thought, and I appreciate y'all tapping in and tuning in with me. Today we're going to be doing a reaction video to newly elected President Donald Trump signing an executive order to put a state of emergency for the southern border and close the border down effectively in regards to migrants, illegal immigrants coming across the border. So this reaction video was uploaded 20 hours ago from 12 News. That's what we're going to be reacting to. We are reacting under the fair uses rights, or the rights to fair use. So we are operating under the rights to fair use, and we're going to get right into it. So let's get this going. I'm going to play the audio like I always do. Then y'all know I will tag the video at the end, allow the full video at the end of my reaction video to play in its entirety for full context purposes. But I will be reacting and commentating on the audio and playing along and reacting for the first time with you all. Welcome back to the Thought Experience. Let's get into it.
Migrants on the U.S.-Mexico border are losing hope as Donald Trump returns to the U.S. presidency, vowing to crack down on immigration.
While many of his supporters cheer these plans, Donald Trump's return also leaves many who are seeking the legal process to cross our border with limited options, issuing multiple executive orders and declaring...
Okay, now I got to stop it right there. See, this is why President Trump, over 8 years ago, going on 9 years now, coined it fake news. Because see, what they're doing is, this reporter, that's very slick, and I can't even really call him a reporter. I more so call him a news anchor, because he's anchoring the lie ship. It's not, listen to what he says, and I want to see if y'all catch this. I'm gonna back it up. Listen to the little lie he's slipping there.
Who are seeking the legal process to cross our
border. Let me back it up a little more, pardon me. Listen.
While many of his supporters cheer these plans, Donald Trump's return also leaves many who are seeking the legal process to cross our border with limited options.
Lies. Using many who were seeking the legal process. That's what this whole issue is about. Was about illegal migrants flooding through our borders, crossing through our borders, not going through the legal process. Listen, we have no problem, especially me as an American, I have no problem with immigrants and the immigration policy. I'm not an isolist. I don't believe Donald Trump is either. President Trump coming through the legal way, the legal process, legal immigration. The issue was Joe Biden allowed all of these illegal migrants to flood the border so they could then convert them into Democrats and turn their vote to Democrats in hopes of them toppling the Republicans in the election. But let's not go too far down that rabbit hole. What this reporter just said, well, news anchor, and let me let it play one more time, is just a bold-faced lie. Let me let it play, though.
Options, issuing multiple
Let's back it
to
up.
cross our border.
On immigration.
While many of his supporters cheer these plans, Donald Trump's return also leaves many who are seeking the legal process to cross our border with limited options, issuing...
Again, like I said, that's a lie. He's telling a bold-faced lie and mixing half-truths with a bunch of lies. The issue isn't the issue that was at hand and is currently at hand, and that President Trump tackled by closing down the border to illegal migrants, isn't about legal immigration. It's about the southern border being flooded with illegal migrants that are coming here illegally and taking advantage of whether it be loopholes or it be gaps physically and figuratively in our infrastructure that allows them to just pour into the border. And I want to say one more thing real quick before I allow this to play further. What other first world countries would you be able to do that? Will we be able to just pour into their border illegally, stay, get rights, get food stamps, get financial benefits, get housing loans? Where will we, what other, I'm talking first world countries, no third world countries, first world countries. And I'll just throw a couple out there. Your Englands, your Spains, your Finlands, your Italy's, first world, your France's, first world countries. Where would this ever be allowed? Except for in the United States of America, because it was a corrupt regime that was allowing this to happen. Has there always been illegal border jumpers and illegal migrants coming in? Yes. But what the Biden administration did to allow so many of these migrants to pour in, I think at one point in time it was 30,000 illegal migrants pouring in by the day. They were letting in rapists, criminals, killers, murderers. the worst of the worst of the societal citizens of these countries, whether it was Mexico, whether it was Brazil, you had people pouring in from China. They were letting these people just pour in. They were getting released from jails out there and coming straight from the jail and jumping right into our country through the illegal immigration system as a migrant, as an illegal migrant. On top of that, you had men coming in. These people talking about asylum seekers on the 17-second mark. It's a 2-minute and 53-second video. I got to pause on the 17-second mark. You will see most of these people in this still frame, and I'll probably use this as one of the thumbnails. It's mostly men. So we're letting men in now. I can see women and children. You have some sort of sympathy for to an extent. I feel like nobody should be allowed into the border illegally at all, because no other first world countries are going to allow us to do it. So why should we be the ones to allow our infrastructure to break down because taxpayer citizens like me and you have to take care of these illegal migrants? Hence the term illegal. We're not talking about legal immigration and legal immigrants coming in through the legal process. I count 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. I'm skipping ahead. The frame is mostly filled with men. This 17-second frame, 17-second timestamp, is filled with mostly men in the timestamp. What happened to the women and children? So if enough of these migrants came over here as grown men, as strong men, would they not be able to cause a potential mutiny amongst the U.S. citizens like me and you? How would us U.S. citizen men defend our women and children? And I'm going to be doing some more reaction videos to these migrants that have done heinous things when they've been over here. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's stick to the topic at hand and the video at hand. How will we be able to defend ourselves? If they're letting over, I'm just throwing the number out there. If they're letting in 5 million men, illegal migrant men, let's say per every 5 months, at what point in time is it going to become a safety to us and our women and children that are American naturalized citizens that will be able to defend ourselves against these men? Some of these men are from the army or from militias or from gangs, MS-13, this type of gang, that type of gang. These are trained warriors. What are we going to do as U.S. citizens to protect ourselves against these grown men that are coming in here under the, I'm using air quotes, y'all can't see, but under the guise of asylum? Let's continue. Let me back it up a little bit. I digress. Let's continue, y'all.
Seeking the legal process to cross our border with limited options. Issuing multiple executive orders and declaring a national emergency at the southern border, effectively shutting down people trying to seek asylum from crossing over. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is live near Nogales.
Now I got to stop it. At the 24-second mark, you will see these migrants, all men. The one in the red hoodie, this is the 22-second mark of the 2-minute and 53-second video. 22-second mark, but I'll put the video like I always do at the end. These are all men that are breaking through the wall, breaking through the barbed wire, and pushing their way through. So these are the law-abiding citizens we want to come into America? Are these the law-abiding citizens that we want to welcome into our country with open arms and with open tax dollars? Do these look like law-abiding citizens when they're ripping down the barbed wire, pushing their way through, forcing their way into our border? This is what we want in our country? This type of trash? Yes, I said it, trash. This type of crap and garbage? Are you kidding me? I digress. Let me let this keep going, y'all. Y'all know I'll talk about this forever. Let me let this keep going, because I'll just ramble and ramble.
He's shutting down people trying to seek asylum from crossing over. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is live near Nogales with a look at the possible impact.
We are standing near the Morley pedestrian port of entry, one of the smaller ports of entry in Nogales. And overall, it's been a relatively quiet day here in this area. But around 3 o'clock or so, my colleague here working on border coverage with us did witness someone climb the fence right in this area where you see that gap in the barbed wire there. She said there was a very large ladder that was placed on the Mexico side of the border. A woman crossed.
Oh, time out, flag on the play. So we just caught the reporter in a lie, the news anchor at the beginning. Boom, shakalaka. We caught you in a lie, news anchor. We caught you in a lie. Let me back it up. Where did you say that crap? That propaganda you spewed? Oh, he's making it hard for people that are trying to cross legally. I told you, he's a liar. Let's break it up. Let's back it up. This the 11-second mark. What did he say?
Trump's return also leaves many who are seeking the legal process to cross our border with limited options.
Leaving many that are seeking the legal process to cross our border with limited options. You bold-faced liar. I don't know this anchor's name, but he's a liar. You're a liar. You're a dirty liar. And I don't like the name call or attack, but that's a blatant lie. Now, you fast forward it to what this news anchor was saying, or this news reporter live on the scene. Listen to what she says. Did that sound like a legal border crosser? Putting a ladder up to from the Mexico side to climb the ladder to jump onto our side with a gap in the barbed wire, in the barbed wire. Now y'all see why President Trump wanted to build a physical wall. It wasn't figurative. He literally wanted to build a wall to keep these people out. Let's speed it up. What did she say? What did she say, Mr. News Anchor? That claim Trump is leaving legal immigrants with limited options? Huh?
We are standing near the Morley pedestrian port of entry, one of the smaller ports of entry in Nogales. And overall, it's been a relatively quiet day here in this area. But around 3 o'clock or so, my colleague here working on border coverage with us did witness someone climb the fence right in this area where you see that gap in the barbed wire there. She said there was a very large ladder that was placed on the Mexico side of the border. A woman crossed over. She was holstered around her waist in some fashion, and she was lowered down onto the Arizona side of the border. Now, locals here did tell my colleague that this is something that does happen in this area of.
Wow. So this is something that happens a lot. This is something that goes on a lot. She was holstered. At the 1 minute and 11-second mark, you can see where the barbed wire is missing from the gap where they climbed through. And you can see the hole in the fence where she squeezed through. So she was holstered. That means she has equipment. Think of it like a mountain climber, or one of those people that do rock climbing, and they have the holster. It's like a tether clip, right? Almost like a bungee cord, right? That attaches to you, so that way you're sustained, and when you're suspended in the air, you're not just going to drop down. You're able to position yourself in a safe manner to get up to a high point and then lower yourself back down. So this is calculated. This is by design. This is a recipe for disaster. But let these news anchors at the beginning tell it. Well, the one news anchor, let him tell it. Oh, it's just President Trump made it hard for illegal immigrants to come over to this border. Not what it sounds like. Not what it looks like. I digress. Let's continue.
Of the border wall, and it's why you often see CBP officials stationed in this area. But the question really is, are we going to be seeing more or less of that type of activity in light of the changes that have rolled out in the past 24 hours? Now, we came here because we did want to see firsthand the immediate impact of some of the changes that came out from President Donald Trump yesterday, declaring a national emergency at the southern border and shutting down the feature on the CBP One app that migrants use to seek asylum. That change alone has been tangible here in Nogales. Just on the other side of this border wall, I'm told there are many migrants who showed up yesterday and today with appointments, and they were met with disappointment and sadness when those appointments were canceled. Shelters on the Mexico side are now preparing for an influx of people who perhaps still do decide to continue their trip to the border despite their appointments getting canceled, or who were already here and aren't sure what to do or where to go. I talked to folks at the Border Community Alliance, which works closely with shelters in Mexico. Take a listen.
It puts nonprofits on the Mexico side in a bind because they now are going to have many more people that are going to be having to stay at the shelters to provide food, to maybe give them bus tickets to go back to where they're from, or to another safe place if they can't go back to where they're from. So it's a big burden on the shelters and other services on the Mexico side.
But I have to stop that right there. To all of the nonprofits that are doing this without nefarious purposes, without nefarious intentions, and they're really doing this the right way and really trying to help migrants that are trying to legally cross the border, I understand. But it's no way. I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night. There's no way they're going to make me believe that all of these migrants, I'm using air quotes, are piling up to these specific targeted points or targeted regions of Mexico, and every last one of them are trying to apply with the legal papers to legally get into the country or seek asylum the legal way. We just heard at the beginning of the report, at the roughly the 1 minute and 5 second mark, where the reporter stated that on the ground, boots on the ground. She just showed the picture, which you all will see when I upload the video at the end of this reaction audio. They're jumping across the border. They're using a ladder and they're using weak points or soft points on the wall to get through. So do I think that's just one person? Do I think that's just a handful of bad apples? Or do I think the majority of the people are hedging their bets and are coming to these targeted points saying, okay, best case scenario, we'll use a ladder, we'll use our tethering equipment or our holstered equipment as the reporter referenced, and we'll get over the border that way. Or if that doesn't happen, then worst case scenario, we'll go to the non-for-profit, we'll have a hot and a cot, we'll have three meals, so to speak, and we'll put our paperwork in and hedge our bets that way. What do you all think is happening? Get in the comments and talk to me and tell me if you all agree with me or disagree. Let me know what you all think.
And Celia and her team are prepared to go visit those shelters on the other side of this border wall tomorrow.
Safe place if they can't go back to where they're from. So it's a big burden on the shelters and other services on the Mexico side.
And Celia and her team are preparing to go visit those shelters on the other side of this border wall tomorrow to see what they can do to help. We're in Nogales. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
So Bianca Bono is the name of the reporter that did a great job explaining and showing where the weak point in the infrastructure is and where these migrants, these illegal immigrants, were manipulating that weak point in infrastructure and coming into our country. And it doesn't just stop there. She said this is a small point of entry. If you remember at the beginning of her report, she said this is one of the smaller locales. So just imagine what's going on at the bigger facilities. And we're not going to, drag this out. We're going to make this short and sweet. So I'm gonna place the video in its full context at the end of this audio reaction. You all like, comment, and subscribe, please, and share. And get in the comment sections and tell me what you think. Do you think President Trump's executive order for this immigration policy is good? Do you think it's bad? Are you indifferent to it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you feel as though these migrants should be able to continuously illegally cross the border, like when Joe Biden was the president and he was allowing these migrants to come in illegally at tens of thousands at a time per day at an all-time high for the United States of America? Or do you disagree? Y'all get in the comments and let me know. But I appreciate every one of you all that decided to tap in and listen. Thank you for tuning in to the Thought Experience. And make sure you take care of each other so someone can take care of you. And I'm out. Peace.